We are back again. Hello. This is episode 6, I believe. I think. Yeah, it is. 3 pints and a clean sheet. Hello. Hello, chaps.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we? What's the fettle?
Steaming.
Not steaming.
Some of us have had more than 3 pints, some of us haven't. AKA, Greg's still sober. The rest of us are not. But let's go for it. So, we are going to start off with the same format as last week because it worked very well and we enjoyed it. We're going to start off with a quiz. This week I have taken the lead and I have came up with a Scottish football quiz, as we are a Scottish podcast and, got to embrace our heritage. How are we feeling for the quiz, boys?
Fucking buzzing.
At least if I do shit, I can blame it on the fact I live in Wales.
Right. Don't think that's how it works, but let's go. So I have 4 rounds, all worth 10 questions. Last week Greg did it as we had 2 lives and so many questions, but we're just going to go for it and see how many they get. Some are difficult, some are easy. You know what? It's just a kind of mix. I've kind of grabbed them in, so you know what? You can work as a team. You can have as much discussion as you want. So let's go for it. I probably should have checked that it's the right year. Yeah, this is not the right year. Oh no. Right, we're gonna have to skip a few questions.
Oh, great.
Oh fuck no, we're gonna have to skip this round. This round's fucked.
That's them anyway.
Right, let's skip to the second round. Right, Scottish Cup round. We're gonna start off. What year did the Scottish Cup first take place? A. 1871. B. 1872. C. 1873. Or D. 1874.
Kyle, I'm hoping you know this, because I don't.
You're the clever one. You should know this shit.
I mean, I know the rugby one was 1872. I don't know anything about football, which is really bad for being on a football podcast.
Who's the football podcast? No, I wonder.
I want to say I've seen a thing. Was it in the Scottish Cup last year about however many years of the Scottish Cup? But I can't remember when I seen it. Which makes me think it's 1871 or 1872, but I don't know.
What was it years again? I forgot.
71, 72, 73, or 74, I think.
Yes.
I'm inclined to say 71 or 72, but I don't know which one.
It's the oldest competition there is in football, isn't there?
It is.
1872 was the year that Rangers were formed.
After that, then surely.
I don't know if that helps you or doesn't help you.
See, that makes me think it's after 72.
I think you're probably on the right tracks there.
Maybe 73.
Yeah, go for 73, because I don't know.
I guess 73 then.
Nah, 74. I wish I'd read this before. I've read this through and I thought it was brilliant, and then realised that it's not actually this season. Right, I'm just going to pick these questions out that might fit. Which manager has won the most Scottish Cups? A. Willie Malley. I don't know if that's pronounced his name. B. Walter Smith. C. Jock Stein. Or D. Bill Struth. These questions are pretty fucking brick, to be fair.
My mind jumps to one right off the cuff.
Which one?
Jock Stein.
I'd be happy to support that.
I don't know why. But it's either Smith or Stein, in my opinion.
They're the two, but the fact I've not heard of one perhaps makes me think that it happened years ago and they won like a ton in the bounce.
That's interesting.
But you think you'd kind of, because usually got to be Rangers or Celtic.
Yeah, but
you think you'd heard of one of them.
You know, which was there someone when it first started? If Queen's Park won it about 1 billion times,
because it was
just
the only team fucking played in it.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Who was again? Stein. Smith.
Willie Malley Watersmith, Jock Stein, or Bill Struth? This is according to this quiz, which was published by the Scottish FA, so you would think that it'd be right.
Yeah, but it's the SFA, it'll probably be fucking wrong.
Well, I'm going with what they said.
We can try one of the different ones if you want.
Sod it. Bill Struth.
Is that your final answer?
I was more inclined
No.
to Mr. Malley, but
One of them.
it's up to you. I was more inclined to Willie Malley, but it's up to you.
Okay, let's go for Willie Malley. I genuinely don't care.
I like the name Willie.
You would, and it's correct actually. You know what? I don't know if I've given him a big enough quiz there. I've just looked him up actually, and he apparently, according to this, won fucking 14 Scottish Cups with Celtic.
Oh, Celtic.
I'm not sure if Mally's how you pronounce it. It's spelled like Mally.
Maybe Mealy.
Mealy, Mally, potato.
Sorry, I don't know anything about Celtic. Celtic fans, feel free to send me more hate mail after last week.
Do it on Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah.
Nah, just send it to him personally. Right.
Actually, before we start this next question, feel free to play along at home.
Yeah.
You'll do better than we will.
One for two.
Right. When was the last Scottish Cup not played at Hampden? Is it A, 1993, B, 1998, C, 2014, or D, 2018?
Now, I don't know why it wouldn't have been held at Hampden in 2018. 2014 jumps to mind because it was used for the Commonwealth Games, but I don't know if that affected the Scottish Cup final.
Shouldn't have.
Well, because the Commonwealth Games would have been straight after, right? But I don't know if they played it at Celtic Park instead.
Mm,
What you
I'm
saying
not
then?
14.
I'm fine with
What was
that.
that, sorry?
Yeah, I think we'll go for 2014.
And you are correct. In 2014, it was held at Celtic Park, with St Johnstone beating Dundee United 2-0.
Well, hey, nailed it.
Well done, Greg.
GG.
Right. Which club holds the record for the longest winning streak in the Scottish Cup final appearances? A, Aberdeen, B, Celtic, C, Heart of Midlothian, or D, Rangers?
Did Willie Malley win his 14 trophies on the bounce? Because if so, then surely it's hardly going to not be him.
Well, I don't know because I closed the window.
I think Celtic, like during the Rangers Division 3 years.
Yeah. Regardless, let's go with Celtic.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate, did they win the Scottish Cup that many times when Rangers were down? Because
That is
No.
true. You have people like Inverness who won it.
St Johnstone won it. Well, that was like last year, to be fair.
Yeah, but they also won it in 2014, like you said in that question.
Yeah, exactly.
Hibs won it when Rangers were still in the Championship.
What about Aberdeen in the Alex Ferguson years?
Yeah, but was that really that long?
I don't fucking
But
know.
I'm just going to repeat the question. Which club holds the record for the longest winning streak in the Scottish Cup final appearances? A, Aberdeen, B, Celtic, C, Heart of Midlothian, or D, Rangers?
I think it's not Hearts. They've not won that many.
To clarify, you said winning streak in their Scottish Cup final appearances.
Yeah, so essentially they've got a streak in final appearances.
Wait, no. When you say winning streak in Scottish Cup final appearances, though, that sounds to me like it doesn't matter if they had a few years where they weren't in the final. It seems to be saying they've got, like, every time they've got to the final, they've won it.
The question I wrote down says, which club holds the record for the longest winning streak in the Scottish Cup final appearances? So essentially, what I've taken from the question is they've won it the most times in a row without stopping, which kind of throws a spanner.
It makes me think I genuinely don't know. The way I've interpreted the question as in they can like no be in the final a year, and as long as they win it the next time they're there, it's fine. Makes me think it might be Hearts.
How many they
I
actually
think you're
won?
overthinking it.
Yeah, but when you think, how many times have they lost a Scottish Cup final?
I don't think it's Hearts, the way he's going on. I think it's like Aberdeen or something.
Okay, you go with whatever. I really don't care.
Celtic.
Are you sure?
No, but we don't care.
And I'm joking. It is Rangers apparently, according to this. This is the Scottish FA produced.
That's fucking jobby.
Between 1902 and 2016, how many Scottish Cup finals did Hibernian lose? A 8, B 10, C 12, or D 14?
Where did you get these questions from?
As said about 4 times, the Scottish FA.
Well, they can shove them up their arse.
You can write to Neil Doncaster. I don't care. I took it off the website.
Yeah, Scottish FA, if you'd like to stop us broadcasting this terrible quiz performance by telling us we're breaching your copyright, that would be greatly appreciated.
But do it on Twitter.
That's ruined the whole thing. That's the whole thing, knacker.
Please do it on Twitter.
Do you care, Kyle, or can I just say 12 and we can move on with our lives?
I mean, do we want it was away with the
I'll
face.
I'll read it again. Between 1902 and 2016, how many Scottish Cup finals did Hibernian lose?
12.
A8, B10,
12.
D12, or D14? It was 10.
That was 10.
Well done. Hope you're happy with yourself.
I mean, to be fair, these questions, I should kind of double check this. Oh my god, these questions are out of date. That's embarrassing. Right, skip this round. Right, let's go to the Scotland round because we can answer these ones. These are the men's like first team questions. Right, Scotland round. A. Which of these teams has the Scotland men's A team never faced? Andorra, Egypt, Paraguay, or Turkey? I don't know if these are up to date.
I was going to say that better be in date, 'cause if the answer's Turkey, I'm going to be happy.
Well, they've
No,
played
it's not.
Turkey. At least in the Euros at some point. Paraguay. I think they played Paraguay.
Possibly in a World Cup at some stage. Andorra,
I'm
I'm trying to think.
I think they'll play
Egypt
Andorra.
can't be a country as well.
I'd be inclined to Egypt.
Like, I'm thinking, Andorra, Paraguay, meh.
Think of the qualifiers.
Yeah, let's go Egypt.
Suits me.
Are you sure?
No.
What are you going for then?
Whatever Greg wants.
I have absolutely no idea.
I thought Egypt, but
Well, you say you were stuck between Egypt and Andorra.
So you're telling me to go for Andorra. Let's go for Andorra.
Well, I didn't. I was just asking you which one you wanted.
Yeah, but if you're no telling me I'm wrong yet, it must be Andorra.
Well, you are correct, but I was just asking. I'm not a very good quizmaster. Right. Who has got more goals for Scotland? A. Joe Jordan. B. Ali McCoist. C. James McFadden. Or D. Kenny Miller.
those names I think is McFadden, but
I have genuinely no idea, other than if you say the name Joe Jordan to someone in Wales, they'll hit you because they don't like him.
Why?
Because he scored the goal when Scotland beat Wales to qualify for whatever tournament it was. It was night, uh, the night Alex Ferguson had to take over because he died, and I've completely blanked him because you've got me in a quiz.
Fair enough.
Was it the night Jock Stein died?
Could have been actually.
I don't fucking know.
Probably. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds about right. The night that Jock Stein died, and then Alex Ferguson took over. I know Joe Jordan scored that goal.
Right, so who scored the most goals for Scotland? A. Joe Jordan. B. Alan McCoist. C. James McFadden. D. Kenny Miller.
I would think Ali McCoist or James McFadden. It's one of them two.
Well, I don't think it's James McFadden, because if you think at least Ali McCoist had, like, James McFadden's not really associated with running success in the Scotland team. So let's go with Ali McCoist.
Correct. Alan McCoist is the answer. Well done. I'm just going to pick quite. Do you know what? See, when I read this quiz over, it made sense, and now I'm looking at it, it doesn't. So I'm just going to pick questions out. Right.
Fun fact, actually. James McFadden last played for Queen of the South.
Yeah, before he retired.
We're famous.
Thought I'd chuck that in.
And speaking of clubs that James McFadden played for, which club was James McFadden playing for when he scored that goal for Scotland in Paris? That absolute screamer. A. Birmingham, B. Everton, C. Motherwell, or D. Sunderland? Greg's favourite club.
Bastards there.
Run the teams again.
Which club was James McFadden playing for when he scored that goal for Scotland in Paris? A. Birmingham, B. Everton, C. Motherwell, or D. Sunderland?
It was not 2006.
That's all I'm giving you. I'm not saying anything else. I'll give you the
I
question.
wasn't asking you.
Well, it sounded like it.
This is one I actually think I know.
What year was it?
What do you think it is?
Was it 06?
Is the way who I think it is, because I'm sure he played for them for like at least 3 years, if
Sure it was
not
Everton.
more than that.
I'm Everton as well.
Correctamundo.
Well, hey,
It was Everton, yes. Well done.
yeah, he played for them for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, he did actually. Who scored Scotland's first goal of the new millennium in a 2-1 friendly over the Republic of Ireland in Dublin? A. Barry Ferguson, B. Don Hutchison, C. Craig Burley, or D. Neil McCann?
You can take this one.
Oh, I wasn't even fucking born.
Don't know
Um,
that. Might have been before February, unlikely, but might have been.
Turn of the millennium. Still my fucking dad's nutsack.
No, at least if it was
You
the
were. You'd have been in the process in the millennium.
yeah.
No, I wasn't watching Scotland play, was I?
You're in the motion though. You weren't in the nutsack.
Sitting there cheering on the mighty boys in green.
I've
You
heard
horrible
Robert Watson do
bastard.
that.
You
Wasn't
can
Barry,
shut up, and you can shut up.
wasn't Barry Ferguson? I'm calling that right out. Wasn't BF?
Right, I'll give you a tick for that one. It's not Barry Ferguson. It's either Don Hutchison, Craig Burley, or Neil McCann.
I think Don Hutchinson. Don't know why.
I'll do. I don't care.
Just because my dad's called Don.
Well, you're correct. So your dad was right.
Money Don.
Don Hutchison.
Well done.
Right. Who was in goals for the last? Sorry, try again. Who was in goals the last time Scotland were in the playoff back in 2003? This is obviously old because we've been on a playoff since then. But who was in goals in the playoff in 2003? Was it A. Robert Douglas,
That's what I was
B.
thinking.
Neil Sullivan, C. Jonathan Gould, or D. Craig Gordon?
I think Rob Douglas, but that's just me.
You go with it.
Rob Douglas.
I do like. I wish I had like a wee soundboard. You know, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's like. Doo, 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 doo. You're correct, actually. Dylan.
Mind him for Pez 04. So
It's
he's
funny
from
because
Dungus.
Greg's neighbour used to have a wee plaque on his door that said R. Douglas, actually, back in Edinburgh.
Yes. I wonder if it was the man himself. Probably not.
I mean, I doubt it, but right, we move. I'm just going to pick questions out here.
Me.
Which of these cities has Scotland not played a World Cup match in? A. Dortmund, B. Milan, C. Seville, or D. Zurich?
Right. So let's go through these very slowly. So we went to Spain in some
In
games.
an aeroplane.
Thank you. That was exactly the song I was trying to avoid singing. So I think Seville sounds pretty good. Zurich would have to be 1954, which also sounds, fairly good. I don't see why we wouldn't have. That leaves us with Dortmund and Milan, is that right?
Yes.
So Milan would have been Italian 90.
Didn't qualify for that, did we?
I'm not sure. And it would have been what, Germany, when did Germany host? So 2060, we didn't. Or we didn't qualify. So it would have been the one before that, which I want to say was.
I don't know.
Yeah. I can't remember when the World Cup in Germany was before that.
Did they host one?
At the point. I'm not sure they did, you know.
I would say Dortmund, but that's just me.
I think Dortmund sounds fairly good. But part of me, I'm trying to think why we would have played in Milan.
Well, it's just tense.
I genuinely, it's between the two of them.
Well, yeah, you're correct in thinking it's between the two of them.
Good. So I've done the legwork in eliminating the other two. Kyle, you pick between those two.
Dortmund.
It was Milan, according to this.
With Milan, so we must have not played there in Italia 90 then.
Right.
Mm.
Which country outside of the British Isles has Scotland beaten the most? A. Lithuania, B. Norway, C. The Faroe Islands, or D. Denmark?
Okay.
I wouldn't say Denmark.
Denmark and Norway and the Faroes all have kind of complicated. Well, all right. Shall we say that it's probably not going to be Lithuania because they've only been a country since about 1990.
See, I would say not Faroes because we've played them about twice.
And to be fair, they've only they're like part of Denmark, so I don't think they've been around very long. So I'd be inclined to say Norway or Denmark. You don't think it's Denmark, so that leaves Norway, right?
I would say Norway or Lithuania for me.
We would have had to have played Lithuania how many times since 1990 though, which doesn't seem really likely.
Seem to always get drawn with them, though, don't we?
That is true.
Like every time I see the groups, it's always Scotland v Lithuania.
Are we right to be picking between those two, Robert? Completely done.
Say that again, who you picking between, sorry?
Lithuania and Norway.
No.
No,
No.
well,
Oh well. So when we go with Denmark, okay?
it's not the Faroes.
You went very distorted there, I didn't hear what was said.
Said well we go with Denmark then.
It's up to you.
Denmark. I'm deciding
Yeah,
Denmark.
you're right.
Yes, jackpot.
Right, these next ones are a bit.
Shite.
Ooh. Here's an interesting one actually. Which Scottish football stadium is at the highest altitude?
Ow.
And there's 4 stadiums, so you're gonna have to pick between them. This is proper putting in the dark business here.
Well,
A.
it's not,
Falkirk. Didn't hear what you said there.
it's not going to be Gayfield, is it?
Right. A. Falkirk Stadium. B. The Pennycar Stadium, Airdrie. C. Broadwood, or D. Fir Park.
I was thinking Falkirk Stadium. I don't know why.
It's not. It's pretty flat around there though, right?
You've been.
Yeah, I was going to say I've been to all of them. I think. I don't. Yeah. Or I've not been to Broadwood. Falkirk's pretty flat. Like it's on a hill, but where the Falkirk Stadium is pretty flat. So it's pretty much in Grangemouth, which is sea.
Above sea level.
Airdrie also seems fairly flat, but for some reason I want to say we went up a hill in Airdrie.
Fucking 10 hills in your drew.
Thor Park I can't mind. I just remember that I went, it was late because the train was late when I missed Queen's only shot on target. And then Broadwood, I don't know. I've just, yeah. I don't think it's Falkirk. And part of me wants to put it between Airdrie and Broadwood.
I would say Broadwood.
Let's go with Broadwood.
And you are incorrect. You're correct, yes.
We are what?
You're correct.
Well, hey.
I wanted to pretend to say incorrect and kind of said correct.
Yes.
So yeah, well done. Which of these players has not scored a double in a Scottish Cup final? A. Rudy Scatchell, B. Craig Conway, C. Anthony Stokes, or D. Lee Griffiths? Tough question, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well,
I know it's not Scatchell.
Yeah, that was that, yeah.
He scored in 2012. The name that jumps out is Craig Conway. Don't know why. Just I don't get who he is.
Yeah, but why would they put him in? Like it seems like the obvious one to go. Probably know him.
That's what I thought. Maybe Stokes.
Mm,
I feel like Griffiths is quite clinical.
who for though?
Hibs or Celtic.
Well, I'm trying to work out who would have scored for Hib. Like in what final he would have scored two for Hibs for though.
Probably more Celtic than wouldn't it?
Hmm. But then how many finals? We've already kind of had that discussion of how many finals did they make in that period.
Just takes one final.
But it does, and they have the triple. Well, yeah, triple treble.
But when did he leave Celtic?
Yeah.
I think it's Conway or Stokes.
well, what are you going for?
What will we go with Stokes?
If you want. That must make because Conway knows St Johnstone and he's had quite a few final successes. I do Stokes.
Let's do Stokes.
Incorrect. Greg, you should have stuck with what you were saying, pal. It was Lee Griffiths.
Uh,
I thought you'd persuaded him there.
Never fucking said Griffiths.
He did.
I never heard him.
He implied it. He said that he didn't think Stokes was the answer, and he said when did Griffiths score? And you were saying Celtic or Hibs. He went when, and you didn't really give an answer.
I thought you meant. I thought it was between Conway and. I don't care.
I shouldn't have been lured. That's what you're saying.
Right. I do apologise. These questions are probably pish. I should have checked this more. When I read through it, it was fine, but obviously I never read that much into it. Right. Sorry.
You obviously read it when you were pitched.
I did put this a few days ago when it wasn't. So the highest ever attendance for a UEFA competition, which was 136,505, was a match at Hampden and was in 1970 between which two teams? Was it A, Scotland versus England, B, Real Madrid versus Frankfurt, C, Bayern Munich versus Saint Etienne, or D, Celtic versus Leeds?
Celtic sounds quite juicy.
Yeah, it does. Scotland v England's the obvious answer that I want to rule out because it seems obvious. But maybe it's obvious because it's correct.
Because it's quite close. No planes, no pish. Just straight driving up or whatever.
Yes. I don't know why in 1970 Real Madrid, Frankfurt would have been in Glasgow.
Exactly.
Final, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but was the European Cup for a long time not two-legged? Was it not a two-legged final? Maybe not then, but before that.
Maybe.
I don't know why part of me thinks that. Real Madrid Frankfurt seems like a no to me. I can't remember what the other one was. I know Celtic. I remember Celtic v Leeds. I can't remember what the third one was.
I guess in them years it was not Puskás and shit playing for Madrid.
Not in 1970.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, what was the third one, Robert? What was C?
It was I've scrolled too far.
Was it Bayern Munich v someone?
It was 2-6. It was A, Scotland versus England, B, Real Madrid versus Frankfurt, C, Bayern Munich versus St Etienne, or D, Celtic versus Leeds.
Right, it's not Bayern Munich v St Etienne, so that leaves us with Celtic v Leeds, right? But I don't know why. Again, I don't know why Celtic would play there, but that's surely what it leaves us.
Friendly, maybe.
Plus, it's also 1970, which is not long after Lisbon Lions and that, so Celtic makes some sort of sense to have really high attendance. And they're playing Leeds, who are also in the UK. It's the most obvious one to me.
Well, Leeds not quite big in them days. I don't know. I wasn't born.
Probably, yeah. Let's go with Celtic v Leeds.
Correct.
Knew it. Fucking beauty.
I'm not sure how up to date this quiz is, but let's go for it. Out of the 4 divisions of the Scottish Professional Football League, which club comes last alphabetically?
Right. So, do we have any Zs? No.
Wait, what was that? Sorry? Last club alphabetically in the league whole of UK.
In the whole
Scottish
of
Professional Football League. It's a Scottish quiz, mate.
The Scottish, right? In Scotland.
Right. So, Scottish Premier League, where the last one is like St Johnstone, St Mirren, so they're immediately no's, surely.
Depends when this year was released, to be fair.
Yeah, but surely there's some after St Mirren. Surely there's someone after St.
Yes.
I mean, I
Uh,
can see the answer, and I can't think of anyone else that's not. That's later than like after this one.
right. So Championship, there is like Morton, Ayr, Hamilton, Arbroath,
I think I'm not quite. I'm just trying to think.
Cove, Queens Park, Partick.
First my head to think. Must be something before St Mirren. Has to be.
Who have
Has to
Queens
be.
played this year? Montrose, East Fife, Stranraer. Stranraer is after St Mirren.
Is it? Is not it? Aye, it is actually. Aye. You're onto something.
Right. So we've got as far as Stranraer. I can't think of any Scottish football teams going with T.
Surely will be one.
Vale Leithen are in the Lowland League.
Was if you're thinking professional or Stranraer aren't professional.
No, it's the Scottish Football League, like as in like Premiership down to League 2.
Right. Must be Stranraer.
Who have Queens played this year? Who's in our league? Dunfermline, Falkirk.
Stirling? No, the day before Stranraer?
No, yeah, they're before Stranraer.
That's my fucking heat frightening. Thanks for that.
Stirling, Bonnyrigg. Who went down last year? It was Cowdenbeath, so we can rule out it being out of date.
And the Bonnyrigg came up.
Dumbarton, Stirling. I don't know if I can do anything better than Stranraer.
Feels a bit fake, but it must be. That's all I can think of.
Is there no T's?
Trent. But they're Lowland League.
Yeah. Are we on the right lines, Robert?
I'd say so.
I can't do any better than Stranraer.
Yeah, I'm the same. My heat's up Mars.
I'm just lost.
Greg, you're correct. Listen, right, well done, mate. As soon as you said it, I was sitting smiling. I thought, fuck it, he's done it a lot quicker than I thought he would. Right. Which Scottish club's ground gets its name from the Pictish for place of manure? No options for this one, just
Well, see,
guess.
manure is shite, so I'm presuming air.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm not encouraging anything.
It's
Right,
Pictish as well, so it's
I
sure
am.
to be something.
Fuck the air.
What was that, Greg?
It's Pictish, so it's surely going to be something northern.
You're on the right tracks, mate.
It's not going to be anything like Dumfriesy, Ayrshire, Central Italy.
What is
Yes,
Pictish? For the
you're
viewers,
correct.
what is Pictish?
So it came from the Picts. So you have the Picts, who were the people that the English built the walls to bloody keep it.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'll say the English. I mean the Romans. So I'm just trying to go through grounds. Probably not Gayfield. Can't remember what Montrose's stadium was called. There's no one really West Coast. I take it it's not going to be anything new either,
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
because it's going to be something. What's Peter Heath's called?
Fucking that area, but like Cove, Aberdeen.
Well, it's not going to be Cove. Pittodrie is a. Do you know what? Pittodrie's a great shout.
Just thinking when you say Peter Heath, like, you're like Aberdeen, which is Pittodrie.
What did you say it was for? Some of the manure. What was the
Person,
bit before it?
person manure,
Place of manure, yeah.
place.
Place of manure. Because pet being the key word in Pittodrie, right? I don't think I can do better than Pittodrie.
Pittodrie then?
I'm just gonna tell you now. You're bang on. You're correct.
Well,
Well
hey,
done.
Just when you said
I
Peterhead,
thought you got that quicker. To be honest.
just when Greg said Peterhead, I thought that's near like Aberdeen, which is fucking north.
Yeah, I'm just mixing and matching now of quizzes that I put together. Right, when the first ever Scotland versus England match was played in 1872, the Scottish team were made up entirely of players from which club?
surely that was Queen's Park.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that not Queen's Park?
Yeah, you're spot on. Well done. Who holds the record for this for Scotland international appearances, having played 102 times?
No choices.
No, you're in the deep end now, mate.
What's that about? That's fucking terrible.
Well, you can make the quiz for next week,
Oh well.
and I'll be holding you to choices.
I'm not going to do choices, so I'll show you.
Did you say most capped players?
Sorry?
The most capped.
Yeah, who holds the record for the Scotland international appearances, having been played
Must be
102
somebody
times?
like Dennis Law or somebody, one of those players. Law, Dalglish.
Dalglish is a shout. Played for a while.
I would say between Law and Dalglish,
Gave
but
it
that's
success as well. Let's go with Dalglish.
Dalglish. Probably the best player
Correct,
ever was
Mundo.
for Scotland.
Aye, that's what I said anyway. Who was the manager of Scotland at the the 1986 World Cup?
Is that Argentina?
I'm not entirely sure.
No,
86? I thought it was.
I thought that was 78.
Maybe, I don't know. I think.
Argentina's 78.
No, I'm trying to think of the Ali's Army.
Because that's where Archie Gemmell scored. Thank you, train spotting. Scored against the Netherlands.
When Doherty and Dorman left to join some other camp.
Aye.
He's our Muhammad Ali, he's Alistair MacLeod.
Yeah, that was 1978.
I just thought to get a wee sing song going, but fuck yous. 86. Where was that? Mexico?
Yes? Was that the second Mexico? Or the first Mexico? I think that was the second Mexico.
Must have been. Italia 90.
Yeah, the second Mexico then. Wait,
Was it Walter
Wait,
Smith?
hold the bus. When did we say Jock Stein died again?
Kill me.
Was it Alec Ferguson?
That's what I thought.
Correct. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, Jock Stein died at the last, like the qualification playoff in Cardiff. Yeah, right. It came back to me now.
Right, I've got two questions. One, easy. The other one is also easy, to be fair. Right, I took this off a quiz, so this is really challenging. Queen of the South are located in which Scottish market town?
Dumfries. Was that off University Challenge? Because there was a very similar question on University Challenge. That
Yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right.
Galloway.
Which club formed in the 1990s won the Scottish Cup in 2015?
in the 90s.
Inverness.
Yeah, Inverness.
Yeah, that was easy. That's what I'm saying, it was easy. Right, let's move on. Done too much.
Supercalifragilistic Celtic are atrocious.
Fragilistic, is it not globalistic?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
Alex
good.
says that. Shut up.
Didn't say anything.
Supercalifragilistic Celtic are atrocious.
Fragilistic.
I'll leave.
Good. Right, let's move on. I apologise about the lack of structure of that, but my quiz went tits up, but we improvised, so it's all good. Right, let's go back to our World Cup chat. I was on my break at work and I watched Morocco versus Portugal, and Morocco smashed them. Well, the goal, in my opinion, a bit of poor defending, but you know what? Morocco stuck it out and they've defended well this whole tournament, and I think they deserve to be where they are.
One goal conceded all tournament.
Exactly. They've defended well, they've held on. I mean, they're in the semi-final for a reason. The first African team to reach a semi-final. So very, very well done. Do you think they can reach the final?
Just
Do you
wrapping up. I've got a wee point. The best singer and the best goalkeeper both share the same name. Bono.
Yeah, it's a great name. Can we also analyse that Morocco have only conceded to themselves? Because I'm sure the only goal they conceded was Canada, and it was an own goal.
Certainly does it.
I never watched that game.
Do you think they can reach the final though, Greg? What do you think?
No, because France surely should have too much. But we said that about Spain, we said that about Belgium, and we said that about Croatia, and they all failed to beat them. I notably excluded Portugal from that list because who knows what you're going to get from Portugal. I got what I wanted at this World Cup. I got my Ronaldo tears, my England tears, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm happy whatever happens.
I mean, I would say never say never. You never know. Not Portugal. Morocco might just do it.
Playing France, though, France are, yes, they look perhaps a bit shaky at the back, but that's been said all tournament. It's not really affected them too much. Yes, they've got injuries, but
they look
they've got
resilient.
depth. It would be a huge moment for African football if they did it.
It'd be another 0-0 penalties because they're defending. Morocco are very resilient. They are very resilient.
And never forget, the only reason they have this manager is because they sacked their old one after getting beat 3-0 off the USA in a friendly 3 months ago. And then him falling out with Hakim Ziyech. So,
Best player. Don't follow the best player.
yeah.
Well, I put.
Sorry, just end of the day. It's 90 minutes. 11v11. You never know what's going to happen.
I suppose so. I put a poll up on the Twitter, and after England went out, and I said, who will go on to lift the trophy? I had 17 responses, so France got 12% of the votes, Morocco got 29% of the votes, Argentina got 18%, and then Croatia got 41%. So according to that little minority, I suppose it wasn't very much. So you know what we keep saying, please follow our socials. But Croatia are the favourite to win according to that poll.
Yeah,
Follow
please
you, have your own
more
say.
smart people follow our socials.
Yeah, I mean it would really help with polls and such.
Have your say and be involved in the next episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't pick Croatia to win because I don't
Please
think
do. Get Kyle his money for his sweepstake.
let's have an Argentina win in the semi-final. Let's get Greg money on his each way bet at the start of the tournament.
Got about £2.
At least that way I can predict. Because I would say I predicted at least a finalist the last two World Cups because I had Croatia on in 2018.
It'll be interesting to go back whenever this is over and look at our predictions, if we can do that, and see how wrong we were.
I had
Isn't
France.
it? Like,
Yeah.
It'll be a good laugh. Whenever
did
Greg,
Greg not say Wales were going to win?
Greg
No.
said Denmark are going to beat fucking France.
Yeah, I said Denmark were going to beat France in the group and Morocco were going to fight Saturday day. I still said that Argentina win. I said they'd beat England in the final. So if Argentina could still win it, I'm still on. I'm sure you both said Brazil to win, so I'm doing better than you said.
I said Croatia to win, I think.
I'm pretty sure I had Brazil play Germany in the final.
That went really well for you.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's move on. Our last segment for today is our predictions.
Oh, we
So,
don't
Greg,
talk about
There's going to be the England game.
oh no! Oh, how can I
Can't
forget the
forget
England
about
game? Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. Right, go on, England then. France versus England. Go on, Greg.
I mean, it was great. I really enjoyed
that.
Harry told off in a hotel in Switzerland for jumping way at Harry Kane when he missed his penalty.
Point.
I've seen a lot of English people give the ref stick, which I don't really get. You had two penalties, lads. What more did you want?
We said
You
that
wanted
earlier.
to say again?
We said that earlier. Like they got two penalties and they're still green about no getting anything derby.
Literally, they wanted a third one, which was a mile outside the box, and then they seemed to be moaning about Saka and Kane not getting fouls that they clearly were diving for. Like, after the first 5 minutes, you surely realised this ref isn't giving away soft fouls. Let's stay on our feet and try and pass the ball about a bit better instead of falling down at the slightest touch and then moaning about it. Because, like, I don't know how more English players weren't booked. Bellingham deserved the booking when he followed the referee for 30 yards. Maguire deserved the booking after he originally never gave the penalty for Hernandez. You know, it was at the England lost the plot a bit in my eyes, and you know, had they stayed composed, that they maybe had a chance. But after the first goal went in from Tchouaméni, they looked a bit rattled. Yes, they get the equaliser through a penalty, and then Giroud does what Giroud does.
I mean, I have to say that first finish was absolutely sublime. I was out for dinner and I got the notification saying it went on Twitter, and what a fucking finish that was, by the way. That first goal that went in for France, the Germany goal.
I would say brownie points for the BBC cameraman that filmed Harry Kane crying.
Yes.
Extra
Did you
brownie
see-
points.
Did you see that actually when they zoomed in on Kane, that Jordan Pickford went over shouting, "Have some respect," and pushed the camera away from his face?
I mean, brownie points for that guy as well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I just came out the restaurant and checked, like, put on the stream, and as soon as they got that penalty, I thought he was missing it. The amount of pressure that was on him was unreal, and I know he scored the first one, but I mean, even from, I know he didn't want England to win, but that was some amount of pressure.
Yeah, you can't give it to someone else in that situation, can you?
He's a captain.
Nah.
He's the pride and joy of English football, so he should be taking it because he's so good.
Exactly.
Well, I seen quite a few videos of the Moroccan fans winding up the Portuguese, and obviously I've seen a lot of videos of the French winding up the English fans. So I think it's going to be quite a juicy semi-final.
Yeah.
Semi-finals. So I'm just going to ask you now, who do you think is going to reach the final? Who's going to be the two teams that we're going to be watching next Sunday? Greg, I'll ask you first.
France, Argentina.
Okay.
I think Croatia and is it France or Argentina? I can't mind the games. Argentina? No, France.
Croatia, Argentina.
I can't remember which one it was. Croatia and whoever the fuck the other team is. Not Morocco.
So Croatian, France.
Yeah.
I'm going with same as you, Greg. I'm going France, Argentina. So, right, we'll move on now because we finished that bit. Sorry, I jumped the gun. So, our predictions. Greg, take it away.
Yeah, again, slightly affected by postponements. 2 postponed games, but the final scores still finished with me on 4 and you guys on 3. The total, I have now brought it level with Robert, so we're both on 21 and Kyle is on 24 for the season.
Hey.
Robert's picks this week of 10 games, and we start with the Scottish Premiership, which is back. And the first game back is at Tawdry with Aberdeen versus Celtic. What do we think, lads?
I think just with the run of form that we're in before the winter, I think the stink Celtic will probably take it.
I just said Celtic because usually they always fucking win, so.
Yeah, Celtic 9-point lead at the top of the table. Sorry to remind you, Robert. Aberdeen are third though, but Celtic did beat them 2-0 at Parkhead in July. Game 2.
Wait. Where are you going? You never said.
Well, Celtic win, but I don't really think that needed said. I think it probably should happen.
Well, let's wait to hear what you said.
Game 2, Motherwell versus St Mirren.
Kyle.
Um,
You go first.
I've said for this one it'll be a super duper draw. The big D.
I've put in St Mirren.
Any
I,
reason? What did you say, Greg?
I have also gone for the big D for draw. Motherwell with 1 win in 3 pre-World Cup and St Mirren with no win in 4 pre-World Cup. I think it's going to be probably quite boring.
Actually, I'll tell a lie. My reason was St Mirren are 7th, Motherwell are 9th, but home advantage means should be even. But I've got it sense in my head.
Yeah. Moving on to
Even
the Championship, Dundee versus Cove.
I've went for Dundee.
Who said?
I went for Dundee just based on like Dundee are good, Cove are kind of jobby.
I've went based on league form. I went Dundee as well.
Yeah, Dundee 4 wins on the spin, only a point behind Ayr at the top. Please overtake them. We can't have Ayr doing well.
Petition for Dundee to go top Division 1.
And yeah, Cove missed out on the win last weekend versus Party Thistle thanks to the goalkeeper. But sitting fairly comfortable in 8th because Hamilton and Arbroath are shite. Other game in the Championship, Wraith versus the aforementioned shite Arbroath.
I've went Wraith Rovers.
Based on you saying shite Arbroath, I went for Wraith Brovers.
Yes, I also went for Wraith Rovers. All going for the same things this week. Wonder if that will continue. Peterhead versus Clyde in League One.
Spice things up. I went draw.
I went for Clyde.
Sorry, Robert, it's not spiced things up that much. I've also gone for a draw. Clyde winless in 5. Had to go penalties against Elgin in the league below last week, and they're without a win since Jim Duffy took over, but they have drew against Falkirk and Dunfermline. Peterhead have got their only win of the season at home, but they have only only scored 10 goals in 17 games.
At least I said Clyde, so it's different to some degree.
Yeah. Other game in League One, hopefully be at this one. Back up for Christmas. Queen of the South versus Kelty at Palmerston.
I would like to start off with a Queen of the South win. One of South.
I have said a win for the home side. QSFC, the only team for me.
We're the Blue Army.
Yeah, and three Queens wins then. Queens got a good point against Dunfermline, but are in a bit patchy form. Kelty have only drew twice in the league in 17 games and have scored 12 less goals than Queens have.
But
Also,
Lewis Gibson's going to get an assist.
to be fair, this game was never in doubt. We're never going to say Queens are going to get fucking beat our way.
No. Well, we might have. To be fair, if you'd asked me last week, or if you'd asked me were we going to beat Dunfermline, I would have said no.
I would have said a draw.
That's what happened. League 2, Annan v Bonnyrigg.
Fuck, I just took my fucking phone off. Bear with.
I went draw, mate.
I've said the other Pride of Dumfries is an Annan win.
Oh, we've got all three scenarios for this game then. I've said a Bonnyrigg win. Annan didn't play last weekend. They're only 3 points above Bonnyrigg. Bonnyrigg are now bottom, even though because they played a game more than Albion. 0-0 against East Fife last weekend for them. Talking of East Fife, other game in League 2, East Fife versus Stranraer.
I've said a draw.
I've also went draw, actually.
3 draws.
No reason, and I could just be us checking the table.
Well, League 2 is ridiculously close. There is only 8 points between third and bottom. East Fife v Stranraer is 4th v 5th. Very
Right.
similar stats and only a point between them.
Alright, 6-pointer.
It really is. I think every game in that league is a 6-pointer now.
Same as League 1, to be fair. League 1's quite close.
Yeah. If you exclude Peterhead and Clyde.
But they're fucking letdowns.
They are. Into the 2 wildcards this week. Back to a full Scottish card, so just 2 wildcards from outside Scotland. First one is Cliftonville versus Portadown in the Northern Irish League.
I have went Cliftonville.
Not gonna lie to you, I've got no fucking clue. I went for a draw.
You went for a draw. I went for Cliftonville as well. Portadown have got 4 points and scored 5 goals all season, but they did win their first game of the season last Saturday. Cliftonville are 4th, but they've played less games than those above them. Last game is in the Women's Super League Cup, which is a thing I learned about today and didn't realise it wasn't just the Women's Super League. Brighton Women versus West Ham Women.
I've went for the Irons. I've went for West Ham Women.
Well, to me, this is a big rivalry. There's got to be lots of handbags. So I think maybe a draw.
You've gone for a draw. I've gone for West Ham as well because Brighton Women are absolutely shit.
That was my thinking as well.
I want to say a wee fight or two in there.
Just, no. Anyway, thanks, Rob.
Bye.
Well, thanks, Greg, for that. Right, so that rounds us up for this week. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening. If you are new, thanks for joining us. If you are returning, thanks for coming back. We are on episode 6, so I mean we're getting there. It's been a good running.
Next week.
Say that again.
Quiz will be better next week.
I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
It was my fault, to be fair. But you know, it's one of these things. That's the issue with us. We do it live. We don't edit it. We just go for it. So you know what? I'm not sorry.
Well, I'll put a wee spoiler for next week's quiz. It's going to be about every single team in the Scottish football pyramid.
Well,
Yeah.
I look forward to that one. So
Been thinking all week.
We will not give any more spoilers away. So thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Remember, Friday, 12 o'clock.